The Your Safe Space podcast is recorded on Wurundjeri land. This podcast acknowledges the traditional owners and custodians of the land. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Welcome to Your Safe Space, the podcast. I'm your host, Adele Marie, and this podcast is here for you. It is a safe space for us to catch up each week to discuss anything and everything. And on today's show, we are talking about all the things you can do to make 2023 slay. Guys, this episode is dropping on January 1st, 2023. Happy freaking New Year. Hi guys, this is a pre-recorded episode, but oh my God, I'm recording it still in December and I'm so excited about it. I hope that 2023 is magical for you. I hope that everything you're working towards is coming to you. I hope that you have all of the success that you want. I hope that you have good health this year. I hope that, you are just blessed beyond belief in 2023. And I'm so grateful that you are part of this podcast community. So thank you so much for joining me for another year. Obviously, you guys already know the drill. New live episodes will be recorded from January 9th. There's still going to be a slay though, and this is one that I really wanted to do for the first episode of the year. And obviously on that, I'm not going to have any gratitudes, struggles, or highlights to share, but I still want you to do that for yourself. I still want you to do that reflection, and I think it's important. So just take a moment to think about what's going on in your world. Some of you may be on holiday, some of you may be back at work, some of you may be working today. I'm not entirely sure, but just hold some space for that. And I'll just give you another minute. I'm popping in your ears today with a fun episode to start 2023. These are the top things that I like to do to start the new year. I really wanted to do this episode because I thought it would be a cool way to start the new year. I wanted to share some life hacks, life admin stuff that I didn't get taught in my early 20s and it could be useful for you. And then I'm going to share what you guys submitted because I asked you guys at the end of last year to submit something for this show, and some of them are brilliant. Some of them are hilarious. Some of them are like, wow, life-changing hacks. And I will also put up a post in the Facebook group so that we can share more hacks. After I go through mine, you might have some that might come up and you want to come and share them, put them in the Facebook group. I'm very excited to hear what you guys have to say. But without any further waiting, let's jump into it. Now, I also want to say this episode is not meant to be, let's do everything and rehaul our lives, new me, new year, new me, 2023. Wow, I nearly said 2022. I'm still in 2022 to be fair, but I will get used to saying 2023. I just want to plant little seeds for you to come back to. And I just think it's important to check in with some of this stuff as we head into the new year. And I think you can come back to this episode whenever you want. There's no pressure to do all these things today. And in fact, you know me, when I encourage change, we don't bite off more than we can chew. So just keep that in mind. All right. How many tips do I have? 6. Oh, look at that, guys. I got an even number today. I didn't want to have an odd number. Anyway, the first tip I'm going to tell you to do is do a monthly review. That's right. I'm coming at you on Jan 1 telling you to do a monthly review for December. If you want to do a deeper dive, you can go back and listen to episode 21. That was the end of a 2022 era, but I'm going to give you some journal prompts to do for January, and I want you to keep these so that you can do them in March, in February, in April, in June, July, whatever. I want you to do these each month. So here are the prompts. Give December a rating out of 10. That's all. Just rate it. What was the highlight of December? I'm going to be doing these journal prompts on the beach as well, just so you know that. What do I need to let go of from December? Can be people, can be things, can be behaviors, can be stuff that you're doing yourself. What are my goals for January? You don't need to write 20, just pick 3. Don't need to overwhelm ourselves. What is one habit I can focus on in January? Just pick one. And what am I looking forward to in January? As I said, if you want a deeper dive, there's that other episode to listen to. The other thing I'm going to say is maybe go out and buy a new journal. I like to buy one at the start of every year just simply for record keeping, because a lot of my old journals, especially ones that I didn't finish in the lead up to the end of the year, I just started a new one because I wanted to have like fresh energy. I don't know, energetically, it just made me feel better. If you're happy with your journal that's not finished from last year, you can still use that. I'm just saying that's what I would do. Next is a health check. The boring but important stuff, guys. Firstly, book in a dentist appointment. if you haven't already. Mine's booked in for March. I'm getting it clean. I actually have to get lots of cleans because I'm prone to cavities, which is very annoying. So I've got my dentist appointment booked in, but this also goes for other stuff. If you need to see your GP, go and see them. If you need a blood test, if you've had like a little niggle or something going on that doesn't feel right in your body, go and chat to your GP. Go and see a professional if you need that. Same goes if you've been struggling with your mental health. Now is a good time to go and chat to your GP and maybe look at getting a mental health care plan if you are here in Australia. Get ahead of it at the start of the new year. And on that, the same goes for your pets as well. So I'm a dog mum. You guys would know I've got little Franklin. And so I just make sure that I have his yearly vaccine or yearly checkup scheduled in. I typically do it around the middle of the year, but it's always good just to check to make sure it's in your calendar. And it's important to keep yourself and your pets and your family healthy. I know some people listening may have full-blown families and I don't have that. Obviously, I'm not responsible for my parents or my sibling, Carla, her health. But if you've got kids, the same goes for them. Making sure you've got all of the health stuff in check, all of the appointments that need to be made, and heading into the new year, just feeling quite organized on that. Which leads me into tip number 3, which is to organize or tidy your space. And I don't care whether it's your room or your car or your bathroom or even your wardrobe or even just your makeup bag. Do some kind of decluttering because it will firstly make you feel better. And secondly, is just something that I like to do in the new year just for that energy. Again, energetically, it feels good to clear the space, to start fresh. Again, don't do it all at once. You don't have to do this, okay? Maybe dedicate a different area or different room or different thing to tidy up each week. Or maybe you want to do it as like a weekend job, or maybe you're on holidays right now and you want to come back and do that when you're done with holidays at the end of January or whenever you're going back to work. So just organizing and tidying up your space because as they say, and it's the same reason, sorry, I'm just feeling sidetracked for a little bit there. It's the same reason why you make your bed in the morning. It's just that habit of tidying up, making something done, tick something off the list that makes you feel good and feel better. I personally will definitely be cleaning out my wardrobe. I started to do that at the end of the end of last year, and I'll be continuing that into early 2023. And then tip number 4 is a finance check, guys. So just a little check-in. I think the start of a new year is a really good time to review your budget, have a look at what your money is doing, where it's going, where it's coming, what's going on there, and plan ahead for those big yearly costs. So we've just come off the back of Christmas, right? It was very expensive. This era that we're living in with inflation and interest rates and all that stuff has made it a very expensive Christmas and expensive time of year. Things like rego as well, insurances, stuff like that, those big ticket items, seeing if you can work backwards. So you know that they're coming. Is there an amount that you can put away each fortnight or each week or each month whenever you get paid to make sure that it doesn't come around in 2023 as a big lump sum and shock you? Setting up those automated transactions can just make your life a lot more seamless and a lot more set and forget so that you can just head into 2023 knowing, hey, my finances are in check and I know that come next Christmas, I'm going to have X amount in my bank account to buy gifts for whoever, to buy the food, to buy whatever else we buy during Christmas time. I also want to say, if there are other things that you are saving for, automating that as well. So whether you're saving for a house deposit or a holiday, figuring out how much it is that you need and then setting up that automatic transaction so that you don't have to think about it, saves you a lot of time, saves you a lot of energy, saves you a lot of effort, and sets you up for success at the start of the year. And when I'm talking about finance check, I'm also talking about other areas that take our money. So reviewing your insurances, reviewing your phone plans, your energy bill, your gas bill. Guys, I worked in the energy industry for a really long time. The plan that you were on has probably expired. They usually do like 12 or 24 month plans and you can always get a better deal. In fact, I used to work in a team that would call customers that had left the company I worked for a better deal to try and bring them back. And so what you will find is if you actually leave the retailer that you're with for your energy and go to a different one to get a better deal, your old retailer will most likely call you 9 out of 10 times to try and get you back with a better deal. I know it's a bit of a headache, but it is worth its weight in gold because you can get a better discount and that can save you money and it all adds up as well. So make sure that you're checking all of those things. Same as, phone plans, insurances, making sure you're on a good plan because those things can really chew up that extra cash. And this also goes for reviewing your memberships. Have a look at your subscriptions, have a look at whatever you're signed up to, cull the things that you don't need or that you haven't used, or maybe you need to have a really honest look at yourself and say, hey, Do I need Netflix? Do I need Stan? Do I need Amazon? Do I need, what's the other ones? Disney Plus. Do I need them all? Maybe I'm just picking a couple to take into the new year with me. Having that really honest chat with yourself. And then tip number 5 is general admin. So here are some of the things that I think are important, and we don't really talk about them enough, but they do help if you do get on top of them at the start of the year. Updating your resume or your CV, because I tell you, and I was guilty of this, it's not until you're going to apply for a job that you go to update your resume or CV. But it is a lot easier just at the start of every year to look back on your last year, what you did in your employer, with your employer, or through your employment, and add that into your CV. Even if you're not looking for a job, it is really important just to keep that up to date so that if you do happen to look for one, it's ready to go. This also goes for your address being updated everywhere. If you have moved around a lot, especially if you've moved states, making sure that it's updated correctly, updated with your banks, updated with your phone provider, updated with the Electoral Commission. I learned my lesson the hard way this year. I did not update my address when I moved from Sydney to Melbourne, and I got a fine for not doing that. I got fined for not voting in a Sydney election because I didn't update my address in time. So don't be like me. Make sure that your address is updated everywhere. And on that, tidy up your inbox. This should have been in declutter your space, but unsubscribe from any EDM marketing, unsubscribe from all those sales emails, make sure that you delete all of the deleted messages, make sure that you file everything, just really clean up your inbox ahead of the new year. Tidy up your phone too, so removing any apps that you don't use, go through and delete any photos or videos. I'm calling myself out here. Adele, you need to do that. I'm going to do that on the beach as well. And making sure you're deleting all those unnecessary screenshots. Guilty. I'm very guilty of this. Then I actually have already done this one, but go into your calendar, and I'm a big fan of using what calendar is it? Hang on, let me check my phone. I think it's just Google Calendar. It is. I downloaded Google Calendar, and then I put a widget on my phone so I could see whatever I had in my calendar on my phone screen every day. I think that is life hack 10 out of 10. Make sure you do that. And I've just done that on my Apple iPhone. What I want you to do is go into your calendar, and I want you to put any important dates in there. So friends' birthdays, events, maybe it's even looking at what days are public holidays, what days you need to take off as annual leave to get more public holidays. I used to do that quite a bit when I worked corporate, but really just making sure you've got all the important things in your calendar. I like to put in whatever I can in there so that at the start of the new year, ahead of the incoming year, I already know I've got all my friends' birthdays in there. I've got all of Franklin's appointments, any of my appointments that I can, and it all just is seamless and ready to go. And then my last tip before I get into the tips from the community, do the things you want to do and make time for them. Not because you think you should do things because it's a new year and because people are telling you to do them. Even some of the stuff I'm telling you, you might be like, yeah, Adele, I'm not going to do that, but thanks. That's okay. I want you to find something that makes you feel good about it being the new year that you can do to freshen that energy or to wipe the slate or to start it fresh. This also means scheduling in fun. This also means doing that hobby that you have been thinking about. It also means making time for self-care this year in a way that feels good for you. I really want that to be a focus for you guys this year. It's a focus for me every year, and it's something that I try to make sure that I do day in, day out, making sure I look after myself. And so that leads us to some tips from the community. Some of these made me laugh so much, and I can't wait to read them out. I loved them though. So let's go through them, and thank you if you submitted. I always appreciate when you guys submit things. And without any further waiting, life hacks to make life better / the year easier. Tip number 1, getting things ready the night before. Definitely agree with this. Maybe you're picking out your workout fit the night before. Maybe you're packing your lunch the night before. Maybe you're making your breakfast the night before. I'm a big fan of the Bircher muesli. Tip number 2, having a high vibe playlist. Yes, I listen to this high vibe playlist on Spotify. I think I'll link it in the Facebook group, and I just love it. I put it on when I'm cooking. I put it on when I'm cleaning. Life hack, putting on music while you're doing something makes it feel less like a chore. So definitely agree with that, listener. This one made me laugh, but it's so true. Always wipe the toilet seat before sitting. You'll always know that you have paper, and you'll know that it's clean. Slay, I guess. Thank you for sharing that one. I loved it. This one is definitely handy. This is admin. Creating an email folder to save your receipts for your tax return. Yes, definitely need to have a good filing system in place to make it easier for yourself or your accountant. The next one is 5-second rule. It sounds simple, but it stops so many little things adding up. Now, I don't remember who wrote this, but you're going to have to come in the Facebook group and explain, because I feel like, are you saying 5 seconds to do something? Like if you think of doing something, do it within 5 seconds. Is that what that is? Maybe I am taking that wrong. Maybe I'm perceiving that wrong. If some of you guys know what that means, leave it in the Facebook group. The next one, meditating for 5 minutes in the morning to clear your head. Yes. Oh, and I plan on recording some meditations for you guys in the new year, so that will definitely be coming as well. The next one, face mask Friday. That's all this person wrote. I like that you're doing a face mask every Friday, and we've got a bit of alliteration there. Feels good. You're never going to forget to do a face mask on your Friday now, are you? This one, oh my God, why haven't I done this? 30 minutes of non-negotiable cleaning every single night so I don't waste a whole day on the weekend. As somebody who typically wastes all day Saturday, and I feel like it's just a mum thing. We always clean the house on a Saturday when we were kids, and to this day I always clean the house on a Saturday. That's how ingrained it is in me. But doing that each night definitely would lessen the load come the weekend. This isn't a life hack, but I'm putting it in for the listener because she did put it in. Sour cream and sweet chili on spag bowl. Best combo ever. I'm not judging. Maybe we need to also have a thread in the Facebook group for weird food combinations, because I'm not going to sit here and judge you, because one of my favorite things to eat is a piece of toast smothered in Nutella and then crispy bacon on top. And yes, chocolate and bacon, I'm talking about them together. Yes, try it. I can hear you guys cringing. Don't knock it until you try it. The next one, don't lay in bed of the morning. And I have to agree with that, because heading into the end of 2022, I would just wake up and lay in bed for like 10 minutes and I would edit a video, or I would scroll TikTok, and I would then end up staying in bed for like half an hour. And that really started to mess up my sleep schedule and my morning routine. And so huge advocate for that one as well. This one's a good one. Whenever a friend or family member mentions something that they like to you, write it down as a future gift idea. This is really handy and something that I do in my notes app. I just keep track. If someone mentions something that they need or that they want, I just pop it in there, and then it's handy when it comes time for either birthdays or Christmas or Mother's Day or Father's Day. It's good to have something in there. Use recipe delivery boxes to prevent decision fatigue and reduce food waste. Another good tip, I used to use HelloFresh. I did some campaigns for them back when I lived in Sydney, and just now I don't do that because it's a little bit hard to feed maybe 4 or 5 people with different food requirements, I will say that. And so for us, it's just easier to make things at home. But food prep comes up quite a bit. I'll get to that in a second, but highly recommend them. They are good. I've used them in the past. I just spoke about this, but put all your friends and family's birthdays in your calendar with a week prior reminder. This person's living 10 steps ahead of me because I put the birthdays in on the day, not a week ahead, but I do check my calendar every single day religiously. I check it morning and night. So I would definitely see someone's birthday if it was coming up, but putting in the week reminder if you need to get a gift. As I said, food prep, making your lunch for work the night before. Meal prep is a game changer. And I think I used to be so good at it. It's gone out the window now, but I used to love it. I used to meal prep breakfast, lunch, and then I would always have just like some kind of leftovers for dinner, but it saves time. It saves money. It's a great tip. And so I really like that one as well. This one also giving the same energy as the spag bowl. Cutting a bread roll with scissors, game changer. I've never done this, but I'm going to try it thanks to this listener. I also loved this one. Paying all my bills, cleaning my car, and deep cleaning my room so I have a clean slate to start the new year with. I love that energy. Go off. This is another toilet paper one. Always putting my toilet paper in the bowl before I poop so I don't get splashback. Ha ha ha. That's what this listener wrote. Solid tip though. The next one, going out with friends once a month and booking this in. We usually do the last weekend of the month. As somebody who really struggles to see their friends because our schedules are all sorts of fucked up, I really like this. I would say though, I don't think I could go and book a month out in advance when my schedule changes at the drop of a hat. And my best friend Suze, who came on this podcast, you guys would have heard her. She's a flight attendant. She works in flying. So her schedule is really all over the shop. And then I don't know if any of my other friends could commit that far out, but I love that you do that. And I would say even just making that time for your friends this year, make it a priority. And then again, I did touch on this one, but setting up automatic transfers right after being paid to save for my house deposit. And I like that because you're getting the money out of your account before you even have a chance to touch it. And I just feel like that's some really good money habits there. But guys, that is all that I got sent through. Thank you. I am going to put up a post in the Facebook group. So if you're not already part of that community, come and join us. I think there's about 3,000 of us in there at the moment, which is just amazing. If you are already in the group, thank you for being there. If you have ever submitted anything for any of my episodes last year or at the start of this year, thank you so much, guys. I'm really grateful for your support last year, and I'm looking forward to having that support in 2023. As I've mentioned in these episodes, these have been pre-recorded, but I will be back from the week of January 9th with some fresh episodes and some fresh energy, and I can't freaking wait. As always, leave us a rating on Spotify, leave us a review on Apple. I will take 5 stars. I mean, obviously be honest, but give me a rating, give me some love. I am an independent podcast who literally is a team of one and who produces, plans, edits, and uploads and does everything for this podcast by myself. So thank you. Your support goes a long, long way. And guys, I just want to say have a happy new year. Have a great and safe start to 2023. If you're on holidays, enjoy it. If you're back at work, hustle, get that bag. I'm so proud of you. I will see you guys soon. All right, guys. Love you so much. Bye.